Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Oh god, this is gonna sound horrible. Hi. So, I recorded myself drawing a full page of 7th Soul from start to finish. Well, almost a full page. As you can see, I already started before I realized that I forgot that I wanted to record myself doing this. So I got about a quarter of the way through my sketching and then I started recording. But you didn't miss much, I promise. Basically, what I do is I start with a canvas size that's about 10,000 pixels long. I have like a little template that I start with, and sometimes I'll stretch it out or shorten it depending on whatever space that I need, but I usually don't stray too far away from that length for the sake of being legible on DeviantArt, because if it's usually much longer than that, then most people can't read it over there. So that, and also for the sake of my sanity, because, you know, usually shorter pages are easier for me to manage because I am a single comic maker, so it makes it easier for me. Anyway, I am going to speed this video up, so, you know, you're not going to have to watch me draw this, because I think when I was putting all this together, it said that it took me like 12 hours to draw this whole page from start to finish. So yeah, no, I'm not gonna make you sit through and watch all this. So I will now start to speed the video up. I might pop in and out to give little tidbits on whatever I might be doing in the moment. So here I am already starting to sketch out Frisk's face for this next panel. So I will back out of this little recording and speed up the video. Hi, it's me again. I'm back already. I just wanted to talk about this little thing. One of my favorite things that Clip Studio offers, which is their posable 3D models. It's something I didn't have when I first started this comic, but when it was implemented it was like an absolute godsend, and I cannot tell you how many times it has saved me when I was struggling with a specific pose. I don't always use it, but I have found myself using it a lot more often in recent pages, just for the sake of efficiency and making my life easier. You'll see me use these models for sans a few times throughout sketching this page, so I just wanted to mention it real quick. But yeah. So, after positioning the panels where I like them and writing out the dialogue how I think I want it, we've reached the point where I finally feel happy enough with my sketch to move on to polishing, coloring, shading, and fully rendering the page. This is where you'll see the layers, located over here to the right, start to build up and get a little crazy. Clip Studio was originally made for making manga, so it has a lot of comic making features. One of those features is the frame tool, which I'm using here. It pretty much makes a little folder that I can draw out all the art for a specific frame, and it keeps it all contained in that frame, so it's super nifty. I can shape the frame however I want, so it's useful for whenever I want to make like action frames or something. Anyway, you'll see me using it a lot, or I'll like copy and paste frames and then just kind of resize them or reshape them as I need to. So, yep, that's that. So I am slowing down time here to show something that I do sometimes when a panel that I'm working on is similar to a panel that I've already made in the past, like this one here on the previous page. I saved myself some time and, blood, sweat, and tears, because why reinvent the wheel? I'm going back to this page now to grab this panel because it's awfully similar to the current panel that I'm working on right there. So there I am, copying it, pasting it, working on pasting it. Yeah, any minute now I'll paste it. And there it is. Okay, cool. And I'll drag it up, line it up, and I will edit it and just, make my life a little easier because, like I said, why reinvent the wheel and redraw the whole thing when I literally already drew it? So I do that a lot sometimes with some panels, depending on how similar it is to whatever panel I'm currently working on. I'll probably do that a few other times with some other panels down the line. Like towards the end, there were some Frisk drawings that were very similar, so I just kind of all I did was change her facial expression, so no real need to completely redraw her. So, anyway, I will speed this back up and you can continue watching.
Only
we finally reached the point where I finished up all the drawing, all the rendering, and I moved on to typing out all the dialogue. So the only people that are really talking in this page is Sans and Frisk, so I'll only really be using the Comic Sans and the basic Undertale font that I use for anyone that isn't Sans or Papyrus. And I'll basically just be typing out what I wrote out in the sketch. Sometimes I'll change it up depending on whatever I feel like works best. Like the sketch is basically just a rough draft, and I'll change it up whatever I feel, it's also a point where I'll go over it multiple times, check any spelling errors, even though there's plenty of spelling errors that I miss, but it is what it is. So that's what this portion of making the comic is. After this, I'll do the bubbles, like the background bubbles and the little lines that connect the bubbles to the mouths, and that's that. That's pretty much it. After I add all the dialogue and everything, I'll just kind of scroll through the page. I'll add anything I feel like I need to add. Like right now I'm adding some little lines here. I don't know, I feel like there needs to be some motion lines there because he like moved his hand up, so slap that in there. I'll go through the page, read over the dialogue like a ton of times. I'll miss a whole bunch of things I misspell and then find out later that I misspelled it and frantically go back through and after I post it and fix it as I do. But anyway, that is pretty much it. That's my whole comic making process in a nutshell. So I hope you found this video informative and helpful and interesting, and the video's over, and now it is the black empty void of space, and I'm still talking, and so okay, well, bye.